Good morning, my name is Davide Melita from the University, and I'm going to present a series of studies titled Economic Relative Deprivation and Perceived Injustice as Predictors of Social Alienation. The studies are part of the DigiPatch project, which has been funded by the European Union through the Horizon 2020 program. Our aim is to investigate the antecedents of social alienation, which is a psychological process, a psychological effect, which has been related with lesser democratic participation and higher rates of radicalization. We built on previous studies on radicalization around the 3M model, which distinguish at least two levels of needs frustration, which co-contribute to radicalization. On the one hand, individual relative deprivation, and on the other hand, fraternal relative deprivation, which is been indicated by perceived injustice. We built on that, did that both individual relative deprivation and fraternal relative deprivation contribute to higher social alienation through a higher loss of significance, which has been posited to be signaled by humiliation as an emotional reaction. Moreover, we posited that micro-identification with narrow groups built on narratives in opposition to the rest of the society and victimhood with respect to the rest of the society could contribute to this sense of perceived injustice. The first two studies were conducted in Spain and samples of students and familiars of students in 2015 and 2016. Measures of social alienation, perceived injustice to working group, personal economic relative deprivation and humiliation were included, and participants had to choose which were their most important groups. The response of participants were categorized, and we distinguish among participants who identified themselves with political identities, which were mostly progressist identities, and the rest of participants. We found that perceived injustice resulted on higher social alienation through higher humiliation and directly, and also we found a direct effect of personal relative deprivation in study 1. And in study 2, we found that politicized identity were indirectly and directly related to social alienation through perceived injustice, higher perceived in-group injustice, and humiliation. However, personal relative deprivation was not found to be a significant predictor of social alienation in this study. Study 3 was conducted in the UK, and importantly in the study, as well in study 4 and 5, political orientation was included as control variable. Here participants had to choose among a list of existing groups, and we distinguish among participants who identify themselves with anti-mainstream, mostly reactionist identities, and the rest of participants. In this case, anti-mainstream identities were predicting indirectly social alienation through higher perceived injustice and higher humiliation, and also personal economic relative deprivation was indirectly related to social alienation through higher humiliation. Study 4 and 5 were conducted in Spain and Poland in a representative sample, and importantly, differently from the previous studies, the studies were conducted during a period in which relatively progressist governments were in power. So in these studies, differently from the other three studies, participants had to list 3 to 5 identities and self-select which of this identity, if any, could be considered as anti-mainstream. Moreover, we included more reliable measures of our constructs. We found again an effect of anti-mainstream identity on social alienation on study 4, both directly and indirectly, and both direct and indirect effect of relative deprivation. However, in study 2, the path from anti-mainstream identity to social alienation was only direct. It was not mediated by perceived injustice and humiliation. And we found also an indirect effect of personal relative deprivation on social alienation through higher humiliation. To conclude, we can say that both individual and group level variables matters in increasing social alienation through higher loss of significance, and that micro-identification could play an important role in it. Moreover, context matters, so we can say that dependently on the context, the political and cultural context, one process or the other could take more relevance in predicting social alienation. Thank you for your attention, and don't hesitate to write me for further detail and scan the QR code to find out more about our project. Thank you.